Hello fellas, Frankie Day for Frankie Day Models. Okay, for you this Thursday afternoon I have for you video number 6 for my Dumas tow tug, the George W. Washburn of the early 20th century. Okay, downhill slide. This will be the last construction video of this kit here, guys. Downhill being finished. All that's left is a couple railings and ladderways, port and starboard, and she's finished. Stacks all been painted, all been rigged up. It's almost done, guys. It's almost done. Lastly is going to be the radio control gear. I've already got the running gear installed. All I have to do is put the speed control, mount the motor, put the receiver there, put the battery there, and add the proper ballast for it, and she's underway ship's colors. I tested the hull last evening to see if any water came in the hull before I do anything more to it. And no water. I built a perfect good hull. It's all fiberglass. Fiberglass outside, resin outside, resin inside. Plus my special paint I had mixed for me. This hull is perfect. It's strong, very tough, and I'm very happy and pleased. I don't have to worry about water coming in and sinking my boat. Okay, talking about boats, my ship came in today. Dropped off a couple of big kits. A couple of kits I got right here. Got about 2 more coming in. And I got the Carol Moran over here, and we'll show you that right after the video on here, on the closing part of the video. I'll show you that. And I've got the big old, I got that huge Dumas Jersey City tug. It's big. It's big. It's a little over 1 meter long, and it's about, I don't know, about 11 inches wide. It's a big boat. I mean, really big. And so that'll be a build down the road real pretty soon, or maybe next year sometime. But right now I'm finishing up what I got going and getting other stuff started. Okay, behind me we'll go ahead and review the progress done on this on the tow tug George W. Washburn, and we'll go through the sequence of the sails, and I'll discuss how it was done on it, and the video. Okay, here we go, guys. Eyes all in tuned. Here we go. Okay. This is the last picture I took last night. I got the stacks all painted, all been mounted in the deck. Under the cabin here, guys, what I did when I pulled the cabin off, I took a 5/8 drill, no, I took a 1/2 inch drill, and I drilled 2 1/2 inch holes underneath the cabin here. I ordered me a smoke generator. I'm going to have a smoke generator in here with its own separate power supply post and a motor supply. I'm going to have about 2 6-volt batteries this thing. 1 6-volt will operate the smoke generator, and the 6 volts will operate the propulsion. And so I got all the eye pins on the stacks, and that way I hook up a generator and hook up some tubing. I already got a key. I went down there to the Home Depot, bought me some copper fittings that's used on when you're sweating off AC units, on air conditioning units, split systems, and also just plumbing. Copper. I got me a key and a couple of 90s and 1 straight piece, so it's like a Y. So all I do is hook up some tubing from that fitting, run it up there in my stack. Then I can turn on the smoke generator, and this thing will be huffing and puffing. Another view looking close to it. Pilot house, I'm doing some work on that. I had to do some sanding right there, reprime, and touch up some paint right there. I did some cleaning up right here, guys. This thing has, like I say, all this stuff here was done at least a couple of years ago. And And my intentions are to get it all cleaned up and everything before you do anything. So I went ahead and got that all squared away. You'll see it on the next stills coming up. There's the valve, George W. Washburn nameplate on the hull. There's a hawse lip. The anchors they use in these things are stock anchors. They didn't use no patented Dunn anchors or no Danforth anchors. Just nothing but pure stock anchors. Just like the anchors you see at Popeye the Sailor's Arms. And so I guess I was laying on the deck with no chain, just rope. So I don't think you really ever use the anchors. That's probably why it wasn't done in the kit. Look at aft right there. Got all my pins in right there. I've been doing some cleanup at this stage. There she is after it's all been done. I've been adding, I got that all cleaned up right there. That's nice and not rough no more like it was. It's all clean. Deck's all clean. Everything. And of course, in this background, you can see my Polaris submarine USS George Washington. I think I've done a build thread in that. That's a present my daughter got me. Another bow shot. I got the winch on now. That winch took about 5 hours to build. A lot of parts. There's about 20 parts to that winch. I'm going to tell you, fellas, these laser cut parts nowadays is a modeler's delight and dream come true. I mean, it really is. It was never dreamt of or thought of back years ago during young days when all those modelers started building models. It was just a distant dream back then until now. That's one thing good about progress. Things get better, and things could get worse. There's an overview shot. I got my stairs on here. I got it all cleaned up right here. I think it's immaculate. I've got the rigging on here all done. All's left right now, guys, is put the boats on. I've got the boat is vacuum formed. That'd be the last thing and rig up the same. Railing comes right from here and comes around this way, around top of the cabin deck, and stops right there. You got a ladder coming down this way. And you got one coming up right behind the pilot house that goes up, that curves over. So all that's left on this right now is just the railings and those two ladderways, and she's done. And after that, it's time to install the RC equipment. Let's see, I think that's the last picture I took. I think it is, that's it. That's it. Okay. Yep, that's the last still right there, and tomorrow, I should have this thing done by tomorrow sometime. When it's done, what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and post a final reveal of the build itself right after that, and the next video is going to be Underway Ship's Colors. My wife is really excited about me making a video of this thing because she likes this thing. But so do I. And so I know you guys like it too. And I'm going to make a nice video of this up there to my favorite natural pond, Meadow Run. You know something, guys? I was the first guy out there that ever put a model boat in the water other than a fishing pole. Now, I'm not too keen on fishing. I like to fish, but the only time I'm a California man, you know, and I'm so used to being around the ocean and things like that. If I like to go fishing, I like to go saltwater fishing. Freshwater fishing is not my cup of tea. It's okay for catfish or bluegills or bass or crappies. And a lot of these fellas out here in Ohio, they do a lot of jug fishing. They catch turtles out here. I don't do turtles. Them things are vicious, very vicious. And guess what? They take your fingers off if you ain't careful. And talk about snapping turtles. That got me inspired to another story I can tell you right now since turtles came into mind. I was out there with one of my tugboats out there in the water and had a snapping turtle. Shell about like that. Big. His neck is probably almost as big as my forearm from up here. And I was out there with my San Pedro Washburn Tug. I seen him come out of the water right up to the bank. He was about maybe 10 feet from me. When he came out of the bank, he stopped. He stuck his head up out of the shell and he looked. He seen me sitting there. He knew I was no threat to him, so he stayed there. I think maybe he just wanted to get a little sun in his hide. I don't know. They got a bunch of young kids come around the bend on bicycles because they got a bike trail and a running trail that goes around the pond where people like to jog and kids like to ride bicycles. So these kids came around on the bicycles and seen this turtle stick next to me. When I seen them riding on the wall, what was going to happen when they seen him next to me. One kid yelled, "Hey, there's a turtle out there next to that old geezer." And I said, "Oh boy, here we go." I told the kid, "Hey, don't fool with him." And they say, "Why? Why?" I said, "How many fingers you got in your hands?" Because I got 10 fingers. You mess around with him, you'll mind us in 1 or 2. And I said, they bite hard? And I said, "Son, these things are terrible. These things will take your finger off like you're eating to a Slim Jim. These things have no mercy. Anything in this way, they'll take your hand off. They don't care. They won't let go either." Kid took a couple sticks, kept on giving it this. And just when he starts chuckling, looking at his buddy. It's like driving a car. The minute you take your eyes off the road, anything can happen. Well, he took his eyes off that turtle struck at him and did grabbed his finger. It took it right off. I had to run down, take my belt off, put a tourniquet around his artery area to keep him bleeding, and somebody called 911. After that, who knows, but I'll tell you one thing, you never fool turtles again. That was about 6 years ago. Anyway, how are turtles? Let's talk about this tug here. Okay, now I got something special for you guys. We're going to take a look at this tug here right quick and show you the progress to how it is now at this stage. And I'm going to show you what I'll be building next. Okay. Yeah, I got the rigging on there, and I got the screw. It's on too. Get this glue out of the way. And all I can do is install the motor and speed control, and we'll see when she's ready to roll. So that's how far I got on this thing. Now, I want to show you something else, guys. This came in, I think, 2 days ago. I forgot to mention this on video number 5 when it came in. I know you guys seen this a couple times. This is a Moran, Carol Moran. This is one of the famous Moran tugs that they use. This one here is about 17 3/4 inches long, but it's big. It looks like an oversized light ship. You know, you got the old Pyro or Lindbergh light ship, Nantucket light ship. It's a little bigger than that, so it gives a lot of room. Now, I'll tell you what's really queer about this thing. It says special features. Operates on a standard servo motor. Now that'd be great for pool operation or an ankle deep pond where no wind's around. But you take this thing out in the metro pond like where I go, or any place that's open weather and water is pretty deep and choppy. I mean, a motor like that will not suffice on a model this small. It needs power. So I got me a Dumas. I got a couple Dumas motors here. The kit is a vacuum form hull. It comes in halves. It makes life a lot sweeter, guys. You're going to take a knife and just go around here and snap it off around the keel. Snap it off. Take this paper here. This is called wet and dry sandpaper. You put this on the bench after you do it. and rub straight. It'll remove pieces of plastic and dry fit your hull. Now here's the motor I got. I've had this for a long time. This is a 4.8 motor by Dumas. I've had this for a long time. Already has a universal connector already, and I hooked up the battery. It works very wonderful. This here is going to be inside this here tug. This ain't no servo motor. Servo motor is a good idea. I'm not trying to put it down, guys. It's this idea. The fact is, if you're going to put something like this in the water, make it radio control, you don't want to go cheap. You want to go something that has some power to it. Get yourself out of trouble. With a servo motor, you take this thing in deep water, and when it's windy, you're going to have a heck of a time running your boat because it's really slow. That servo motor was not designed to be a motor that runs on these things. A servo motor is designed for this action only, on a servo arm. Back and forth, back and forth. That's all designed for. But going freewheeling, seems like to me, if you continue to use that thing, you can burn out the windings of that motor. I don't know. I do nothing of doing that though. But to me, that's a cheap way in and a sad way out in case you run into trouble if you're out in open deep water. Best way is, like I said, this motor you got. I got these motor off of Dumas. I got a Dumas Bluefish. It's a submarine, dynamic submarine. I think a lot of you guys are pretty familiar with that. Probably got one yourself or thinking about getting one. It's a good kit. It's a good elementary kit. But right now they got these watertight compartments. You don't have to worry about making your watertight compartments, putting Vaseline and tying this down. That's us ancient. Now with technology revealing, you can make they got watertight compartments now. If you're pretty well and good at tinkering and engineering efforts, you can make your own watertight compartment by using clear tubing, PVC pipe tubing, and add your motors and everything inside there and such. But that's not for me. The sewer pipe Navy is not for me because, you know, it's like you're saying, what's on the surface can sink. And believe you me, it's easy to recover a boat like this than to recover a submarine. Honestly, I've heard horror stories about guys that really go out all the way and making these submarines, they lose them. Man, that's terrible. That have a heck of all your craftsmanship and time and money right down to the bottom of the pond or lake or the ocean. But anyway, this is going to be the next build. It's going to be fun. It'll be fast. It's all plastic. It ain't be no plank and frame hull like it was on the Washington. And the same thing with the Jersey City tug. It's like this. It's treated the same way. This 90% of this thing is plastic. Only about 5 or 10% of it is just wood. And all the wood is used is like cosmetic parts, and also your internal features like for your cabin size structures to give it the form of the cabin and stuff. Anyway, if you guys like to take a look at this kit in review, I highly recommend. There's a gentleman named James of My RC. A gentleman, I think he's from Oklahoma. A real nice gentleman. He did a very fine job on this thing. And he's probably, I learned a few things off him on his video. And the man is right, you know, he did a demonstration of using a servo motor on this, opposed to the Dumas motor, which he now runs on it. And so he covers a whole build bed this thing. I think it's the only one on there. And I'll probably be a second guy, so he kind of inspired me in getting this. After watching this, that's a cute little tug. That looks like something I like to get into. It'll go together quick and it's small. And I think the guys in the community would get a kick out of it as well. And so that'll be my next build. It goes fast, and when the old man winter gets here around the corner in snow time, I'm shutting down all these RC builds and they can wait next year. I gotta get hot on plastic. I know you guys say, Frank, I wish you get out these model ships and stuff. Get back on some airplanes or something. Anything but this RC junk. Your wish is at my command. That's what I'm going to be doing when winter comes to close. So I've probably got another 4 or 5 weeks of doing this. And after that, I'm going to shut down and resume on next year. But I got other builds to follow. I got the Portland steamer I got to get going. I got the North Ski Love, everything. I got a lot of stuff coming your ways, guys. Okay, this is it right here for video number 6.